Welcome, students, for this live chat. Today, we have a topic in mathematics about the practical and theoretical aspects. Maths, practical aspect, we are going to start from Monday. We are going to put a board and work out some sums. Whether it's a master or a teacher or a school or anybody, only if you work out sums, maths will come. There's one proverb which says, practice makes perfection. The more you practice sums, more you understand maths. The less you do is like a theory. Many read the sums like a theory. The maths has theory very, very little. Little in the sense, some questions are there. What is mean? And the other day ask, what is median? There are some definitions are there. That is mostly for 1 mark, 2 marks. But most of the maths are a theoretical point. Not only the classroom, I said, outside the classroom, inside the house, inside a business place. So inside our personal life and everywhere, maths not in the classroom. Apart from the classroom, it's a practical aspect. Maths, anything you can do it. For example, you take a sum of time, distance, and speed. See, time and speed are inverse ratios. Time and speed are inverse ratio. Generally, if you say theoretically, inverse ratio means 1 by something, or inverse ratio means if one thing goes down, the other thing goes up. That's called inverse ratio. If time goes up, speed goes down. If speed goes up, time goes down. We welcome Rati Lifestyle. Thank you for coming to a thing. You can also give us some good suggestions. If you find this chat useful, you can tell your friends, neighbors, and well wishes. Very much thank you for joining. Thank you personally for joining this one. So, maths, I was telling, is not, I mean, a theory, it's practical. I spoke about time and speed or inverse ratio. Simply, if I say time and speed or inverse ratio, something is telling, okay, fine. This is what happens with many students, but he was give a practical one. For example, you're going from a train from here to Madurai, 500 kilometers. So from Chennai to Madurai or from uh, Bangalore to a place 500 kilometers, 400 kilometers, Hubli, like that. What is time and speed? Why they are called inverse ratio means if you go by a passenger train from Chennai to Madurai or Bangalore to Hubli or Mumbai to Pune, wherever it is, a passenger time takes, for example, to go to Mumbai to Pune, a distance of 150 kilometers, a passenger train takes around 3 hours of a distance of 150 kilometers. Slowly it goes, it stops. So, what is the speed you can find out? So, the speed is 150 kilometers is between Mumbai and Pune. The train takes 3 hours. So, 150 by what? 3. So, the train goes at a 50 kilometers per hour. 100 kilometers, 3 hours it takes. So, now we'll take an express train. For example, certain trains start from Mumbai and will stop in one station and arrive in what? In Pune, a distance of 1 kilometer, I mean 150 kilometers. Some trains come in 2 hours. So see what happens. The time is decreased. First train took 3 hours. The second train took 2 hours to come to Mumbai to Pune, a distance of 150 kilometers. So when you divide 150 by 2, the speed is 75 kilometers per hour. So what you find as the time decreases, the speed increases. Finally, one more example I can give. Take one like Toronto or what, very fast train. It reaches Mumbai to Pune in 1 hour, 150 kilometers in 1 hour. The speed is 150 kilometers per hour. So three examples I gave you. One is a distance of 150 kilometers. Remember, the distance between Mumbai and Pune won't change. It is 150 kilometers fixed. You may go by a train, you may go by a cycle, you may go by a flight, you may go by a car or by walk also. The distance between Mumbai and Pune is 150 kilometers. It won't change. It is a constant. But whereas speed and time varies. If the time is more means speed is less, or if the speed is more means time is less. That's why I gave you three examples. A train covering this 150 kilometers in 3 hours, running at a speed of 50. If it is 2 hours, the speed increases to 75. 1 hour means the speed increases to 150. These are called inverse ratio. So this is called a practical aspect of mathematics. Why many do not understand mathematics and why have a thing is most of them a theory part they do it. What is meant by a theory part in maths? They also do some sir. They also work out homework. What do you mean by that? They are not doing it. Many listen in the class. That is good. But what they listen, they must apply practically. I'm from Tamil medium background, so it's little difficult to understand fastly. Thank you for the advice. I'll make it slow. So many what happens? It'll affect others. So many what happens? They actually sit in a class and watch a teacher. Their mind will be different. So theoretically, a teacher says like an example, like what I said, the distance between. So I'll make it slower for you. The distance between Mumbai and Pune is 150 kilometers. A passenger train takes 3 hours, an express train takes 2 hours, a super fast train takes 1 hour. So again, I repeat: slow train, passenger train takes what? 3 hours, and express train takes 2 hours, and a super fast train takes 1 hour. This 150 kilometers, the same distance is covered by three trains in three different times. Why? Because the speed and time are inverse ratio. The speed and time are inverse ratios. So first I said 3 hours. The first train goes at 50 kilometers per hour, a passenger train. The second train, which takes 2 hours, the speed is increased 75 kilometers per hour. And the last train, a super fast train, takes 1 hour. It travels at a speed of 150 kilometers per hour. So as the time increases, the speed decreases. As the speed increases, the time decreases. This is called the inverse ratio. A very simple concept thing. If you generally say inverse ratio like that means it will just go in 1 year and go in another year. So maths has got a lot of practical aspects. In fact, maths is used in most of science subjects like physics and chemistry for concentration, for speed, velocity, as I'm telling this model. Mostly it's applied in science subjects where you can understand theoretically. So maths more than practically. So what I said was a practical sum from what most do it them in what theory. Practical means you must work out a lot of sums. You must practice. That's called practically. And not only inside, outside also. There are a lot of things in life. I was telling this about mathematics where it is used. Okay, direct ratio and thing what inverse ratios are very famous concepts used in physics and chemistry. So what you do is you have to work out more. So theory is not very important. So you listen to your teacher. So you have to get the tips, the formula. So a plus b the whole square is a formula. A square plus b square plus 2ab. A plus b the whole square is a formula. A square plus b square plus 2ab. That's called a theory. If you write that formula, you get 1 mark. Or some syllabus gives you 2 mark. You write that thing. But based on the formula a plus b plus the whole square equal to a square plus b square plus 2ab. If you do a sum, that is called what? Practical. That will fetch you 4 or 5 marks. From Monday, we are going to put the board. I'll tell you what's the theory and everything. So without, even if I speak something, it's a theory only. So what I spoke was about speed, time, and more. You can understand if it is shown pictorially. by putting a space card in a place called Mumbai, Pune, 150 kilometers a line. You can understand well. Otherwise, it'll be a waste only. So from Monday, we'll try to put a board and make it working. We'll spend more time. If possible, we'll give you some sums to work out. You can work out on Tuesday and let us know if you are planning. Because these kind of live charts are useful for some time. A kind of counseling, a kind of what? Making you confident. And simply you can't be going on listening. You must try to what? Apply on it. For example, in sports also, a coach in sports, whether it's a cricket or athletic, athletes, whatever it is, football, they'll tell you play like this, pass the ball like this in football, take a corner shot carefully. They'll show what is a corner shot. That's called a theory. In cricket, they say face this fast ball like this, go like this, spin ball you face like that. That's called theory. So the coach will take a bat, keep a bat, and show how to face a pace ball or a Google ball or what a spin ball and all. There are different kinds of ball a player what phases. But this is all theory what a coach teaches. But practically the cricket player has to play in the field. It depends upon the bowler, how he bowls. Sometimes he will bowl above the head. Some players hook that ball to four. Like that in athlete also, they say how to run, how to maintain distance, how to keep abreast, and everything they'll teach you. This and all theory a coach gives. Tennis also, famous tennis players are there. For these tennis players, they're beautiful coaches. They earn around quarter the amount of what a player earns. They coach the thing. Sometimes more also depends upon the coach. Whether it's a ex-player. So what happens? The coach gives some theory, some ideas, some suggestions. These and all are called theory. Practical is the player has to play in the tennis field. Thing. So the theory should be applied. Or put in a nutshell, small example. You want to drive a scooter or a car. You go to a driving school, they'll teach you. They'll say this is the brake, this is the accelerator, when to press the brake, when to press the accelerator, how to what? Overtake, don't overtake in the left side. And you have to how to wait on the signal. Everything they'll teach you. So practically you have to apply in the road. So theory, that just like maths also has got theory and practical. Practical is you must practice the sums. So you must practice in the house, and teacher also should practice in the board. The more the teacher works out, the more the student understands. Number one, I was telling when I was a teacher long back, my correspondent, she had five schools. She used to say, work out all the sums in the board. Don't allow the student to say that this sum master didn't do, I saw the guide. When you switch out to guide, guide is like a theory, not practical. They jump steps also. Even best guides you can't understand something. You're reading the guide. So try to work out as many sums as possible. That applies to the teacher as well as the student. The more that sums are worked out, more models are worked out in the classroom, the student can understand. In fact, in my days, first day the teacher works out some sums in the board. For example, algebra. He works out some 10 models, quadratic equations. He'll give five sums as homework. I'm not telling a lie. I'm not exaggerating. I studied in 70s and 80s. So when you come in the next class, you know what they'll do nowadays. You have to submit the homework to the leader. Sometimes they just ask, so you must raise your hand. How many have I finished the homework? That too, some of them tell a lie, but out of fear, if they find out, the teacher will trash you. Some are bold enough to tell a lie. Some say I have finished. Some say I think I'm not finished. They'll ask the reason. Teacher goes up because days are very fast nowadays. But in my days, next day, the student should come and do in the board. The five sums or 10 sums, but the strength of the class was very less. In my class, there were only 15 students. How many students? 15 students in 70, 80s and all. So the concentration was much more for teacher. So everything you can't blame the teacher. Nowadays there are 50 students, 70 students also. Sometimes to take the attendance, it take 10 minutes because they have to call out a name, watch whether the student is there. Some may give some proxy. Proxy means giving attendance for others. That is common in modern days. So attendance itself for a teacher takes around 10 to 15 minutes, and a class is for 50 minutes. So it's a big problem. In those days, it was only 15 or 17 students. So when they give a homework, they'll teach you in the board. They may teach, you'll see. So that is 50% theory and 50% practical. How to solve a sum. So they write in the board. The writing is called practical. They tell how to do. Both are combined together. So they give to 5 or 10 sums as homework. And you know what they'll do? The next class, Deepak Samson Raj. Welcome. The next day, what they do, they'll give the chalk and ask us to do in the board. Nobody can cheat. You cannot copy the guide. You cannot ask your friends and parents. You cannot ask your well wishers. Somehow we'll try to work out and learn the song. And if you can't do means, the teacher won't beat you. He'll make you to come and sit in front if you're sitting in the back. And then he'll ask the next boy who's done the sum correctly. The first sum which, so for example, he gives me a chalk and asks me to do in the board. I was not able to do. I got stuck up, or I say I don't know means he won't beat and all. Because beating sometimes brings fear, or scolding sometimes brings irritation on the teacher. They'll become more wild, more irritated, more they'll hate the maths and the teacher. So some nowadays you have to handle the students psychologically. It's very, very important. Okay. So what happened? The teacher will say, "My name is Samuel." So teacher Samuel will sit down. He'll call on Raghupati, who has finished this sum. On Raghupati will raise his hand. Come on, Raghupati, do this sum in the board. This Raghupati will come and do the sum in the board. Now he'll ask us to explain the sum to him. He'll say, Raghupati, explain to Samuel the sum. The Raghupati will explain the steps. I'm not exaggerating. And then the master will ask me, did you understand what he said? And sometimes if I have doubt, I'll ask how this number came. Then he'll try to explain. So the student also becomes smarter. This is called practical. So if you teach others also, it's called practical. Okay, so you have to work out in the thing. So maths is theory part and the practical. Practical is not only the classroom, going outside and learn. You can work out the sums, extra sums of other syllabus. When you go to a friend's house who are quite good in studies, you can work out. If some of relatives know mathematics, you can ask the doubts. I have seen students, their own brother is very good in mathematics. So sometimes in parents-teacher meeting, the mother will say, said this boy will be ninth standard, the brother will be engineering college. He'll be first in engineering college. The mother will say, my eldest son is in engineering college. He got first in 12th standard, 100 of 100. Then the teacher will ask, then why he's not teaching this? He won't learn from himself. He'll fight you. You must not do that. You must obey your brother and try to learn from him. Don't think because he's a brother, he's in a house, he's cheaper. Teacher, you are afraid because she'll scold, she'll beat, she'll send to the principal, and she'll call the parents. You are afraid. But you must not do with the brother or sister. Some won't learn with the sister what she has to teach. She'll say, come here, I'll teach. You won't go. And simply, I know students telling, the miss taught me another method. Your method is different way. There is no two methods and all. One or two sums may have two methods. Generally, there are only general method, particular method. If at all there is one second method, there's a lengthy and what? Circuitous method. You got the point. So this and all some stories. Right. So what you do is actually when the teacher teaches, or if you have somebody in the house, learn from them. That's called practical. Even we learn from others. We learn from even from intelligent students who go for some entrance coaching or some shortcut methods. I have learned some methods. Some students will do. I'll ask her again. Come on, do that method. How you did it? Oh, it looks very easy. From where you learned? The girl or boy will say, sir, I learned from a teacher who is a professor. He's doing for entrance. Ah, good, fine. Even I learned that method. Teaching is a continuous process. Nobody is perfect in teaching. So you have to learn again and again. That's why many teachers are sent for orientation. Orientation means to equip for latest ideas. Because education is a field that goes on changes. Modern inventions are coming, modern ideas, modern thoughts. Nowadays, we are living in a digital world, fast-moving world, competitive world. So what you do is you have to work out. Science also is right. If you don't understand, if you write, I said yesterday 5 times, you'll understand 50%. What is speed? What is acceleration? Don't muck up. Write 5 times. You'll understand the formula at least. Acceleration unit is meter per second square. You'll understand the unit meter per second square. If you mug up means unit of acceleration meter per second square, meter per second square. In the exam, you'll go and write meter per second. The square will leave it off. You'll lose half mark or 1 mark. But it's better to understand and study. And nowadays students are very smart. They got smartphones and all. You do lot of things, unwanted things in smartphones. Play games, play this and that, and spoil your health, your eyes, and your mental health. Many become a wreck and finally go to the psychiatrist for treatment. Go to these kind of laptop and computers and all these modern gadgets and try to learn from it. Use for your studies. You can play. I'm not against it. Play for some time. The habit becomes for first day you're playing for 15 days, second day you're playing for 30 minutes, sorry, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and then 1 hour, and you start playing for 3 hours, 4 hours per day. One student now he's going to Niman's. He stopped his college in the first year. Till night 2 o'clock he's playing. You couldn't control it. He becomes wild. If the mother plucks the phone, they took him to Niman's psychiatric treatments in Bangalore. It's a famous psychiatric center. The doctor said he got addicted. It's very hard. Till 2:33 he plays. I'm not telling a lie. Still he's here in Bangalore. The mother called me and said, I took him for third standard, then he went for college. The college said, we'll give him 1 year leave because morning when he gets up at 9:30, 10, he falls on the bed. He's very weak. He swoops on the bed. Actually, he feels so drowsy. So the 15 minutes game started, it becomes for 30 and becomes 4 hours. Whereas we study for first 1 hour, then half an hour, then 15 minutes, then close the book. It is ulta. This is only inverse ratio. What I was telling about inverse ratio. The more you play, the less you study. The more you study, the less you play. These are called inverse ratios. Even in marks, the syllabus becomes more, marks come down. Okay. So Deepak Samson Raj, I don't know how many hours you study. So you have to study for this study thing. So maths or science, anything, even accounts is also practical knowledge. Even you can have a small book uh, and you can put a thing what income and expenditure, petty cash accounts, what you're spending daily. Daily you can write a diary. My pocket money is so much I spent. The balance is so much. And also you can write a narration whether what you spent is useful. So you can write what so and so rupees I spent for ice cream. It may be useful for 1 day you can have an ice cream, but don't have daily. So it will spoil your health in the long run. It will become habit. And it's not good for some human bodies where they get cold complaints and all. Okay, so it depends upon everything what you do, it theory and practical. I was telling about biology, drawing is very practical aspect. You can't copy drawing. You can't draw some people they draw some nonsense. When teacher asks to draw a flower with its parts, what is the petal, what is the stigma and everything, something they drawn up, you don't get marks. So you must concentrate and draw it. It is a practical one. They'll teach you what is a leaf, what is a bud, everything they'll teach you. What is a bark, what is a root. That is called theory about a tree, about a flower, about the leaves, about everything they teach you, about the human parts, small intestine. Like that they'll teach you. Parts of the heart, mind, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata, three parts of the mind, how it is differentiated. This is all theory they'll teach you, but once you draw that and practice, you get an interest because drawing. That's why I said you must use a notebook or a board to make things understand well. So practical knowledge of maths or science is very important than theory. But first is theory. First you must know What is a spinal cord? You must learn that. What is a brain? How many parts the brain has? And then you can draw. Brain has got three major parts. First, you must know how many parts the brain has. If you don't know how many parts the brain has, if you don't know theory, what you will draw, name the parts. If you know three parts, means you can draw the three parts and label it. You got the point. Like that, you must try to learn everything. So, theory and practical. So, more you must spend on practical. Spend time on practical. Practical means sitting and studying. That's called practical. You spend more some workout sums, write the formulas, write definitions, you must write fully. The definitions you must not tell cognitive stories, stories you must not tell. You must write the definition correctly. What is pressure? What is the unit? What is formula? What is mechanical energy? Give example. Give its formula. Give its unit. Don't mug up. Write, understand, and do it. And you can go through some gadgets and get also to more knowledge. And only as you go high in the ladder, you can learn it. So, not only math, studies is mostly practical. Only in that age, this practical knowledge comes. Till your age of 21 or 24, till that age. After 27 or 28, nowadays they become a family, even some even 32 also. Till this age, whether a boy or a girl, their mind blends. It's a time to study anything, music, car, skating, whatnot, drawing, visual communication, everything is you must develop some interest and concentrate and do it. Practically, you must try it. The more you do it practically, the more it will come fast. Once we had a science exhibition. Some 8th standard students have put some beautiful this thing under a plane going on a remote. They press the remote, the plane. Small students. We asked how. We practiced for 6 months, sir. We practiced for 6 months to develop this model in exhibition. They studied theory. They studied what is remote. They know how to, how is a remote is used. What is a laser beam? They know all theory. They know, but practical is very important. That's why I said theory is different, practical is different. If you go to science exhibition, you can go and see two or three students in some schools. Many schools keep science exhibition. They call the parents. So they give some project to the students. Teacher gives some theory ideas only. Teacher won't come and help. They go to the market and buy those things for the project. Pressure project, this water flowing, a lot of things. If you ask one question and answer, you must keep on it. That particular answer will burn green. If you put the wrong answer, it will burn red. So the thing audience get excited. They ask what is, for example, what is 2 plus 2? The answer will be 4, 8. If you put in 8, the answer is wrong. Red light will burn. 2 plus 2 is what? 4. If you put a thing on that key on the 2 plus 2, 4, it will have green light. Simple projects. That's called practical. 2 plus 2, 4 is called theory. That you know from childhood, you go to shop. So practical knowledge is very, very important. Try to develop that practical knowledge in any field, education or it. But more you spend on education. Don't spend on unwanted things. Roaming is not a practical knowledge. Many people just roam like that. I don't know where they roam and get involved in fights and some police problem and they come home hurt. I told you a bike was seized recently because of this pandemic. They asked not young boys to come out. These students they take the bike and roam and they seize the bike and the parent has to pay the fine. Unnecessary problems. So try to develop your knowledge. It's very, very important. So developing knowledge is more important. That's called theory. So I was telling about exhibitions. Have you gone for school exhibition? Next time you go. Deepak Samson Raj. Did your school keep any exhibition? Have you seen any projects in that exhibition? Come on, tell Deepak whether you are interested to see any project. Exhibition, school keeps small, small projects for students to watch. top sound will come. Once they keep a lot of chemicals. So they say add two chemicals, you get a green color. So they give you one chance. And finally they add. And then they tell, after adding they'll put in the what board. This is so and so chemical plus this chemical gives this product, which is green in color or silver white in color. So these kind of things you can learn if it is practical. Simply, if you add two chemicals, you get a brown ring means it is theory. If you show the brown ring in a lab, you get interested. You will try to learn more about it. And the chemicals, you remember what two chemicals when added will give a brown ring test. So I'm generally speaking, because people are from various backgrounds. Some are not from chemistry background. So generally, I'm telling. So practical knowledge is very important, very very important for anyone, which you have to do. So, as you're telling about the medium, Tamil medium, Telugu medium, whatever background you may be, so Adi knows about, I think she's from Tamil background, about Abdul Kalam. He's a Pakka Tamil medium man. He studied in a small Tamil medium school in Rameswar. They are two in a small village. He didn't study in English medium suddenly. He was Pakka from a Tamil medium. Small village school he studied. He became a big rocket scientist. He is famous in nanotechnology, very much advanced technology, which is only in US in advanced countries. He's so good in nanotechnology, rocket technology. He was the president of India. So don't worry about your Tamil medium background or anything, or Telugu medium, or Kannada medium. Whatever it is, you use your knowledge practically. You will come up. There's nothing in that like that. Many examples I can give you. A lot of people are in this world. They study in different backgrounds. So similarly, economical background. You may come from a poor family, lower middle class or upper middle class or middle class, not from a rich family. Don't think only people from a rich family can study well. It's not like that. Anybody can study. Don't think if you study in the big school, only they are good. Not like that. Any school depends upon how you take the challenge practically and move forward. There may be drawbacks, there may be weakness, there may be failures. Don't withdraw, fight, and come out. Everybody will have a failure. Any person, any political person, any top figures in life, Abraham Lincoln, anybody, Sir Isaac Newton, learn their life histories. They had failures. They were laughed at. They were mocked at. Suddenly they didn't find out new science discoveries. Learn about a lot of things. Louis Pasteur, he found out for what? Rabies bite. When a dog bites a person, it will cause you a disease called rabies. You will die in 1 or 2 months. When that poison enters the brain, it enters the spinal cord and enters the brain. Nobody can save you in the world unless until you go for a treatment immediately. You have to put what? Injections, anti-rabies injections. But Louis Pasteur, you know what he did? That time many people died in what? Dog bite. There was no medicine at all, no medicine. He took that poison, the rabies poison comes from the tongue of a rabid dog. Rabid dog means a mad dog. That poison he took and he made a medicine and he just injected in his body. So first they get a fever. The fever will become high. And then that injection goes and attacks the spinal cord and goes in the brain and people die of nobody can save them. Everybody laughed at him. Hurry, you will die, man. But that anti-rabies, he found out from the same thing, from the same poison he injected. That anti-rabies. Explain loss of motion. I'll explain later. So what has happened? Then that rabbit poison began to come down. Same thing with snake poison. When a snake bites a poison, you know what is the antidote? Snake poison is very venomous. It either attacks the nervous system or the brain directly, depends upon the snake. Death is instantaneous in some cases. You die immediately. Powerful snakes bite. But there are what? Snake bite this thing. Medicines. Antivenoms. Got from the snake venom itself. How they found out? By interest, by challenge. If you learn that life is still, first they would have failed. There will be failure, there will be drawback. They would have withdrawn it, but not like that. So you have to improve, whether from any background thing. See, generally, the Indian students are very successful in foreign countries. America, you know why? They got a lot of scientific advancement in foreign countries. Still, our students who are from poor background, they go there and they're so shining. You know about Sundar Pichai. So he's so shining in what? Google thing and all. So like that, there are a lot of persons who shine, who study in ordinary school thing. And about laws of motion. And there are three major laws. But the famous law is what? Since this is not a regular coaching, since thing, can you tell me one law? For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. For every action, there's a equal and opposite reaction. There's a third law of Newton. Okay. First law of Newton defines force. Second law gives a way to measure force, and third law is action and reaction. So these laws of motions given by Newton is very important. So you have to write and see the laws. Try to understand. They're given examples. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. When you row a boat, you've seen a boat, no? Boat is rowed like this. They put the two hands and row a boat with a oar. O-A-R, oar. So when you row a boat, what happens? That's called action. The water will go back. The water will be pushed back, and the boat goes forward. Same thing with swimming. For every action, there's a equal and opposite reaction. So a lot of examples are there for action and reaction. So like that, you can learn the various laws, explanations, additional points. Firing of a gun. The soldier fires a gun, keeps in the water, shoulder and fires. For action, there's an equal reaction. If the soldier doesn't keep the gun properly, the shoulder will blow off. I'm not exaggerating. So they give a training. There are powerful what? Like AK-47 guns. A lot of bullets comes out in a few seconds, producing reaction. So if you don't keep it properly, it will blow off your shoulder or injure your shoulder. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Why I took the third law, that's easy to understand. A lot of examples are there. Even other laws, there are a lot of examples. I'm just giving a general idea only, not explaining the full physics for you. And we got a Google Meet. We got a Google Meet class where you teach the full syllabus and everything. If you're interested, you can contact us in the email. If you like, you can press the bell button, like button, and subscribe. Press the bell button for future uploads. So the three laws of motion is a big topic. So it will take 45 minutes, three classes. How many classes? To work out the sums. If you in laws of motion there are sums. If you work out the sum, force equal to mass into acceleration. The first law. Laws of momentum, mass equal to velocity. These sums you work out, you'll understand. So minimum four classes are needed, 4 to 5 classes or 45 minutes of duration to understand the laws of motion. Simply you can't read like a storybook and go. That's what many read as a theory. Ah, it is a good story, sir. You said. But you must work out sums, more knowledge you must learn it. Tell how to find obtuse angle. Obtuse angle is more than what? Less than 90 is called acute angle. Less than 90 is called acute angle. Exactly 90 is called a right angle. Between 90 and 179 is called obtuse angle, and 180 is called a straight angle. Okay, more than 180 is called a reflex angle. So when you repeat till 89, if you keep a compass and draw till 89, draw a straight line, and the compass till 89 is called an acute angle. Exactly 90 is called a right angle. Above 90, that is from 91 to 179. Of course, 90.5 also you can take. 179.5 also you can take it. These things are called obtuse angle. Exactly 180. It's a straight line. It is a straight line. They'll call straight angle. More than 180 is called a reflex angle. That will come on the other side of the line which you have drawn. These things will show you on Monday when you get it after. And also, any counseling you can ask you some ideas for the topics which we do it. Thing. And theory and practical of studies, not only maths. So theory means you go to the class, listen what the teacher says, you watch what the teacher does in the book. That is called theory. Come home and practice what she said. That is called practical. Simple. You go to your driving school, drive a car. They won't give the car immediately. The driving school master, one who teaches you, will first show what all the parts are. First you on the what key and bring the thing to neutral, gear to neutral. Like that, step by step, will teach you. Okay. So, and then he'll make you to sit. So you have to watch what he's doing. The car will move. You have to watch that. How he's suddenly controlling it. How he's putting the brake. How he's releasing the accelerator and switches over to the brake. Presses the clutch. Presses the horn simultaneously. All this first he'll show you for some time. And then he'll ask you to sit there. So while watching his actions, first he'll teach you what is everything, right from steering to brake, everything. That is called theory. Then practically he'll drive and show you slowly how to drive and how to handle. So you learned the theory and practical of driving a car. Then you'll make it to sit. And then he'll ask you to start and do it step by step. First you'll take your open ground and do it slowly. Same thing with cycle. Why you want to go for a car? Many friends teach cycle, same thing. But many people in villages, they learn cycle by themselves, swimming also. Yeah, because many people in villages, daily they go to the well. Their parents, their brother, elder brother, everyone will be swimming in the well. So they jump in the well and learn it. But don't go alone and learn swimming, it's dangerous. Many have died and try to swim and all, that's not dangerous. Don't go with your friends and do it. Swimming and all is draw and join in a swimming pool classes. They'll teach you step by step. First, somewhat 4 feet, 5 feet, then 10 feet, higher level and up. Please don't go learn swimming and all directly yourself, thinking that's a practical. That's not a practical. Go to swimming pool. There'll be swim teachers to teach you how to swim, and they'll give you gadgets, rubber bladders for to put you on the thing, so that you won't get drowned. So you have to learn thing. When you learn about the electrical things also, many like electrical engineering, they are also there because the current is involved. There are certain voltages which are very high. If you want to repair a TV and all, the inside the TV, that AC is converted into DC, alternating contact, and DC are very powerful. So you get a powerful shock, which may, which is fatal. Fatal since you will die also. So when you learn about some people, some boys are very much interested in learning electrical things, how to put the switch to it. It's good only. You have to learn it. But certain things you can't take a risk, just like swimming, driving a car. Simply you can't drive a car in the road and hit a person. They'll put you in the jail. Simply you can't say what. I'm just learning. There are cases where students go and what? Drive fast and hit 2 or 3 persons and they die off. That's not long. When you drive and all, you must have a supervision, either a teacher or a parent or somebody to guide you. Don't take the car or bike and drive fastly and get involved in accidents. Or go to a river or a lake and try to swim. There'll be what? Whirlpools. Some place will be sluggish. It will pull you down. Many deaths has occurred. So practical also some you need what? A theory, a master who was to teach you, was to guide you. Simply some friend called you and don't go with him and swim and all. Same thing with current and other matters. I've seen persons when kite falls on a wire, they try to what? Climb the pole and take the kite. A kite is hardly some 20 rupees to 50 rupees. Your life will go off. Because these wires are high tension wires. Many have died. Young boys to take the kite, they climb the pole fast, or they go to a higher floor, or first floor of a house or something. They jump on the or go on a tree and try to pluck the kite and get a powerful shock. These are all very dangerous. So certain things and all you must be careful. This live chat is meant for a lot of advices, ideas. When you go to school also, many students go to school, the government gives a free pass. The parents are yearning and trying to go to school and learn. Don't stand in the footboard. Whether it's a train or a bus, it's dangerous. Don't think it's enjoyment, it's entertainment. Many stand in the football. If you fell off means that's all. You become brain dead. If you die off also, it is a thing. So these things you must be very careful. These are some advices I'm giving. You must do it. So about theory and practical, you have to follow it. So anything you can ask about these things. And so watch your teacher and try to study well. So from Monday we'll try to get a board and try to work out certain things. And Abhishek Raj, if you have the physics book, tell me at least one law of motion. Third law, I leave it. I told you. Tell the definition. We'll try to explain what is the first law and all. It'll be better. So try to be careful and try to be acting alert. Obey the parents, obey the elders, obey the teacher. Follow the school rules and try to go to school in time and try to have good friends and don't spend your time on doing unnecessary things, watching some serials which is not of your age, spending more time on what? Games, PUBG and other kind of games and all. Many students get addicted to it. Finally, they can't come out. So spend your time in studies. And my advice is if you want to use a smartphone and all, get your permission of your parents and tell them I'll just play for 15 minutes and give back the phone. That's better. Otherwise, in the long run, it's hard to control you. So your practice of studies goes off. So more practical in studies and try to work hard. Try to help others. Your younger brother, your younger sister. She may be studying third standard. You may be studying ninth standard. Don't think teaching third standard is a shame. Ah, what that some? Why should I teach it? I can. I see students telling. Parents will say, "Sir, this boy is not teaching the brother or sister. You must teach everyone. Simple things. If you teach, you get interest in what studies. Practically, you do it. So try to what do all these things. It'll be better. Tell how to find active angle. Yeah, I told you. Active angle. You need a what geometry box, and the pencil should be sharpened and thin. Don't have blunt pencils, so it will spoil the page. If you rub it with the eraser, it gets spoiled the page. The thing. It's torn. It becomes shabby. You lose mark. Drawing it on the draw perfectly. Whether it's a maths construction or a physics drawing or a chemistry drawing or a biology drawing, whatever drawing, draw it correctly. Tableau columns also in accounts, put correctly, neatly the tableau columns. Give correct spaces for narration and all. So that comes with practice only. Simply within one day you can't draw everything. Okay, you got it actually. And there's a lot of plenty of time. You can study well. So this you can participate. So Monday mostly Abhishek will force equals mass into acceleration. First of all, you must know the definition of mass and the definition of acceleration. Force is actually first step is what? Vector and scalar quantity, like ground floor. First floor is what? Distance and displacement. Second floor is what? Speed or velocity. Third floor is acceleration. Fourth floor is momentum. Force is the fifth floor. So if you want to climb to the fifth floor, Abhishek, first you must learn what is. First you must go to the ground floor. Generally, I say ground floor is what? What is the vector quantity and scalar quantity? You must know first. Then the first floor, you must know what is distance and displacement. And also you must know what is the difference between mass and weight. All these are very interesting concepts in physics, are much more interesting than mathematics, based on human life. So some of this will teach you, not the whole thing, because what this force means, there are a lot of big topic. What is energy means is a very big topic. Atomic energy, nuclear energy, and all you can learn for 6 months. So don't think energy means a small thing. Muscular energy, what the energy that you have in your arms or on your shoulder, that is called muscular energy. Don't think that's only energy. There are lots of energy. Okay, so we'll teach you. So in this live charts, we'll teach you a lot of basic things so that you understand the basic. This chart will be interesting, and you can also we'll try to give some homework or you will give us some examples. We'll ask you the next day. You can tell your friends, neighbors, and well-wishers to join this. And also, we got one more channel, Maths Excel Study, where we have worked out some sums. You can go to that one, and you can give a feedback whether this online Excel Maths online chat is useful for you. How can we improve? Okay. But we also told you we'll do some practical things. It will be much more interesting. We'll also make interesting, and you also make it interesting. So at least half an hour you can sit and do it. So Monday we'll have that one. If possible, Tuesday you can work out and do it on Wednesday. First, I'm thinking of starting this number theory, rational, irrational. Basic, I'll teach you. Number theory is a very big topic, comes even in degree classes. So what we are going to teach you is basic, because you must know the foundation. First, you must go to the ground floor. If you want to climb a 50-story building, where you climb? First, you go to the ground floor, find where is the lift, enter the lift, and then climb. Like that. Okay. So you can learn it, and don't waste these holidays. Work hard and learn it, and tell your friends and well wishers and neighbors to come and join with us. Also, give us some ideas. So, these kind of lights are the old videos are there. Riti, you can see this old videos to just find out what we have spoken. It will be useful for you. Thanks. Abhishek Raj and Deepak Samson Raj, don't waste your time. Spend your time usefully. Don't go out. Don't waste more time on smartphones or TV. Don't roam out. Study, sleep well, help your parents. Sometimes you can play. Do some exercise. It's very important. Simply if you eat, sleep, then your body get bloated. After some years you can't reduce. So try to do some exercise, walking, some pull-ups like that. You can do it so that you can maintain your body. You won't get sickness. Otherwise, you get sickness. Nowadays, you can't go walking outside. You can go walking in the terrace like that. Don't go out for a walk. Don't play outside now because it's a pandemic spreading. COVID-19 is spreading, so you must be careful. And you can work out certain things and ask general things also. You can ask, not only studies. Yesterday, Abhishek was asking what to take. It depends upon what is the interest. Sometimes you can help your parents. If your parents are in the real estate field, is in the construction field, do civil engineering. You can help your daddy. And then in his old days, you can write and study tables up to 20. Many even in ninth standard, they know what's a sixth standard table. Six sevens of 42, they put 45. Finished. Doing a sum is waste. They'll cancel fully. Six sevens are 6 into 7 is 42. If you put 45 first step, clean board, completely they'll cancel. That's what maths. Many get single digit marks. 9 marks, 8 marks, 1 mark, 2 marks. Everything will go waste. So don't waste your time. Work out. That's the main thing. And learn all formulas, identities, definitions also you can write and see. You ask no. Law of motion, Newton's first law. Write 3 times. You yourself will understand. At least 25% you'll understand. You'll become thorough. You won't make a mistake. If they ask the Newton's first law definition in the exam, if you write 5 times, you understand 50%. You write the answer correctly, you get 2 marks correctly. 2 or 3 marks depends upon the syllabus. Don't mug up. If you mug up, you get confused. The more you mug up, the more you get confused. It's not good. Write and see. That's a good habit. Formulas you write and see. And daily sit and study systematically. Don't waste your time. Have concentration. Spend more time practically working out sums, writing definitions, drawing and all, maps, everything. The more you write and practice is better. Develop that habit. Don't mug up and don't waste your time. First, you finish your studies. After dinner, if you want, if it's a working day, school day, after dinner, you can spend some half an hour for some games. Holidays, don't waste your time. Get up, start studying from 9 o'clock or 9:30. Finish all your tiffin, everything till 1 o'clock. Have a small sleep till 3:30. Then 3:30 to 5:30 or 4:30, 1.5 hours. You can have some phone talk or watch TV and all. Then after 5:30, sit and study. If you're in high secondary, PU and all, study till 11 o'clock. 10 7 study till 9:30 at 10 and then go to sleep. Don't watch TV until 1 o'clock and all. It'll create headache, it'll spoil your mind. You won't get a sleep. Some horror movies, if you see finished, whole night you'll be awake. And they'll cause headache, and in the long run, that'll create a lot of problems. Nervous problems it will create. So be careful. So don't spend things unnecessarily. So you have to do all these things. So I think it's going to end. Hope this chat was lively. Chat was lively. Press back. Email for any doubts or comment boxes. Thank you for coming. Meet on Monday. If you want to say something before we close. Final words. So thank you for joining us. Okay, no problem. Monday we'll meet.